You know the shows, you've memorized the lines, but what if I told you the real drama, comedy, and surprises happened when the cameras weren't rolling? From an iconic prop pulled out of a dusty studio basement, to accidental on-set bloopers that made it into the final cut, to clever tricks producers used to hide mistakes in plain sight, these behind-the-scenes secrets will change the way you watch your favorite TV shows forever. This is the Mind Metrics. And today, we're revealing 30 jaw-dropping, behind-the-scenes facts from shows like Friends, The Office, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, and more. And fact number 11 involves a pizza toss so perfect, it became a legend. Fact 1. Friends' famous couch was found in a basement. The iconic orange couch in Central Perk wasn't designed by a prop team. It was discovered, dusty and forgotten, in the Warner Brothers studio basement. The set decorators needed something cozy but eye-catching for the cafe's centerpiece, and when they stumbled across the couch, it fit perfectly. With a good cleaning and some careful lighting, it became one of the most recognizable pieces of furniture in TV history. Fact 2. The Office cast actually worked at their desks. To make background shots authentic, the computers on the Office set were real and connected to the internet. While main scenes were being filmed, background actors, often the actual main cast, would answer emails, write scripts, or browse the web. Jenna Fisher, Pam, once said she kept up with personal correspondence during long filming days, and that sometimes these unscripted activities even inspired jokes for the show. Fact 3. Breaking Bad's blue meth was edible. The bright blue crystals that made Walter White infamous weren't dangerous at all. They were actually blue-tinted rock candy made by a local New Mexico candy store called the Candy Lady. The realistic texture came from the way the candy was cracked into shards. Bryan Cranston admitted he sometimes munched on pieces between takes, joking that it was the most addictive candy he'd ever had. Fact 4. Game of Thrones' direwolves started as real animals. In Season 1, before CGI budgets allowed for oversized wolves, the Stark children's direwolves were played by Northern Inuit dogs, a rare breed that closely resembles wolves. The show's visual effects team later digitally increased their size to give them a mythical look. By later seasons, the cost and complexity of using live animals meant direwolves were almost entirely CGI. Fact 5. The Simpsons couch gag is a production trick. The ever-changing couch gag at the start of The Simpsons isn't just for fun, it's also a practical way for the animation team to adjust the episode's runtime. If an episode ran short, they could create a longer gag. If it ran long, they'd use a shorter one. Over the years, the couch gag has also become a space for wild creativity, parodies, and even guest animators like Banksy. Fact 6. Stranger Things Demogorgon was a man in a suit. While the Demogorgon in Netflix's Stranger Things is enhanced with CGI, much of what you see on screen is a stunt performer inside a practical creature suit. The suit had mechanical elements for the head and mouth, and the actor had to navigate tight sets while partially blind, adding to the creature's eerie, jerky movements. Fact 7. The Crown used the Queen's real favorite tea brand. To make the crown feel authentic, set designers researched not just the look of Buckingham Palace, but also the smallest details of the Queen's personal habits. The teacups on set were filled with Yorkshire gold, the same brand reportedly preferred by Queen Elizabeth II herself. Fact 8. Friends' fountain scene wasn't filmed in New York. The famous opening sequence of Friends, with the cast dancing in a fountain, wasn't shot in New York at all. It was filmed on a Warner Brothers lot in Burbank, California. The water was freezing, and the actors later said they were soaked for hours during multiple takes. But the energy from that shoot became part of the show's charm. Fact 9. The Office's Jim and Pam wedding dance was inspired by a viral video. When Jim and Pam tied the knot, their wedding aisle dance was based on a real-life viral YouTube video from 2009 of a wedding party dancing to Chris Brown's Forever. The cast rehearsed for days, but the goal was to make it look chaotic and improvised, just like in the original video. Fact 10. Game of Thrones' coffee cup scene wasn't the only mistake. The infamous coffee cup spotted in front of Daenerys wasn't the only modern item to accidentally appear on Game of Thrones. In earlier seasons, fans spotted jeans, a water bottle, and even plastic bottles in the background, proof that even massive productions can have small slip-ups. Fact 11. Breaking Bad's pizza on the roof took one take. In one episode, Walter White throws a whole pizza onto his roof in frustration, and it lands perfectly flat. The crew expected multiple takes, but Bryan Cranston nailed it on the first try. It became so iconic that fans started visiting the real filming location to recreate the scene, forcing the homeowners to put up a sign asking people to stop throwing pizzas on their house. Fact 12. The Office's Rainn Wilson hid notes for Steve Carell. During filming, Rainn Wilson, Dwight, would sometimes slip strange or funny notes into Steve Carell's Michael scripts right before filming a scene. These would occasionally catch Carell off guard, leading to genuine laughs that were kept in the final episodes. Fact 13. Stranger Things Upside Down was made with practical effects. Instead of relying solely on CGI, the Duffer Brothers used smoke machines, floating dust particles, and eerie lighting to create the oppressive look of the Upside Down. The fine dust was actually a mix of cellulose and mineral powder, which gave the floating specks their slow, haunting drift on camera. Fact 14. The Simpsons has a vault of unused guest voice recordings. Over the decades, The Simpsons has recorded hundreds of guest appearances, and not all made it to air. Some celebrities recorded lines for episodes that were later rewritten or cut, meaning there's a hidden archive of unaired voice work from stars like Michael Jackson and Jim Carrey. Fact 15. Friends' theme song almost wasn't I'll Be There For You. The producers originally considered using Shiny Happy People by R.E.M. as the theme song. It was only after the Rembrandts were approached to create an original tune that I'll Be There For You was born, and it went on to become a chart-topping single in real life. Fact 16. Game of Thrones' Dracarys scene was carefully rehearsed with props. When Emilia Clarke, Daenerys, commands her dragon to breathe fire, she was actually speaking to a large, foam green head mounted on a crane. The crew rehearsed the dragon's movement in advance so Clarke could match her eyeline and expressions perfectly. Fact 17. The Office's paper was all real. The paper you see in the Dunder Mifflin office wasn't fake props. It was real paper from a supplier. This meant the actors could actually write on documents or shuffle real stacks during scenes to add authenticity. Fact 18. Stranger Things Dungeons & Dragons scenes were based on real games. The writers didn't just make up the D&D campaigns you see in the show. They worked with real D&D players to create authentic gameplay moments, dice rolls, and terminology, making the kids' basement hangouts true to the 1980s gaming experience. Fact 19. Breaking Bad's filming schedule matched the New Mexico sun. Cinematographer Michael Slovis timed many shots for the magic hour, the brief period just after sunrise or before sunset when the desert light is golden. This gave Breaking Bad its signature visual warmth against its dark storyline. Fact 20. Friends had a live audience for most episodes. The laughter on Friends wasn't canned. Most episodes were filmed in front of a live audience of 300 people. Filming could take up to 6 hours, with multiple takes and breaks for set changes. The actors often fed off the crowd's energy, which shaped how some jokes were delivered. Fact 21. The Crown's costumes were near-perfect replicas. The wardrobe department spent months replicating royal outfits stitch for stitch, even sourcing fabrics from the same mills used by the actual monarchy. For Queen Elizabeth's wedding dress, it took 7 weeks and hundreds of hours of beadwork to match the original. Fact 22. The Office's famous fire drill episode was a safety nightmare. In stress relief, Dwight starts a fake fire, leading to chaos. The smoke was real, though harmless, and the actors were running in a genuinely cramped space. The scene took days to shoot, and multiple safety officers were on set to ensure no one tripped or got hurt during the chaotic stunts. Fact 23. Breaking Bad used a real chemistry teacher as a consultant. To ensure accuracy, the show hired Dr. Donna Nelson, a chemistry professor, to review scripts and advise on realistic but safe ways to depict chemical processes. She even helped come up with Walter White's scientific-sounding dialogue. Fact 24. Stranger Things sound design used everyday objects. The show's eerie monster roars and supernatural noises often came from manipulating real-world sounds, like slowing down animal growls, rubbing balloons, or creaking metal doors, to create unsettling, otherworldly effects. Fact 25. Friends' apartment numbers changed mid-series. Early in the show, Monica's apartment was number 5, but producers realized it didn't make sense for a high-floor unit. They changed it to 20, and Chandler and Joey's went from 4 to 19 to match. Fact 26. Game of Thrones battle scenes could take a month to film. Large-scale battles like the Battle of the Bastards took 25 shooting days, hundreds of extras, dozens of horses, and thousands of costume pieces. The production team choreographed every sword swing to ensure the chaos looked real, but was safe for actors and stunt performers. Fact 27. The Simpsons predicted real events by accident. Writers for The Simpsons have admitted that many predictions, like Disney buying Fox or smartwatches, were just creative guesses. But because the show has produced so many episodes over decades, some of these fictional ideas ended up coming true by coincidence. Fact 28. The Office's Kevin chili scene was all one take. When Kevin drops his massive pot of chili in Casual Friday, actor Brian Baumgartner nailed it in a single take. The mess was so huge that resetting it for a second attempt would have taken hours, so the crew made sure to get every angle right the first time. Fact 29. Breaking Bad's final scene was filmed in secret. To avoid leaks, the show filmed the final moments under extreme secrecy. Only essential crew were allowed on set, scripts were watermarked, and multiple false endings were written to keep even the cast guessing. Fact 30. Stranger Things. Cast bonded at an 80s boot camp. Before filming, the young cast attended a 1980s immersion camp where they played retro arcade games, rode bikes everywhere, and wore period-accurate clothes. This helped them naturally move, talk, and act like kids from the 80s, making their performances more believable. From frozen fountain dances to desert sunsets timed to perfection, these behind-the-scenes moments prove that making television is just as unpredictable, creative, and hilarious as the shows we love. The next time you watch Friends, The Office, Breaking Bad, or Stranger Things, you'll spot the little details and hidden stories that make them even more special. Because now, you know the magic that happened when the cameras weren't supposed to be rolling. If you enjoyed this deep dive into TV's hidden history, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another trip behind the curtain. Thanks for watching,